Training camp is upon us. The Browns are at Greenbrier, and G. Bush is back going live. You ain't going to want to miss this one. We got some injury list to go over. We got some play calling news to go over. And we got the first look at footage at the Cleveland Browns. You're not going to want to miss this. It's the Ultimate Browns right here on the UCS Network. Welcome to the fastest 30 minutes in all of sports. It's your boy G. Bush back with. I guess this is special. We are back with the first inaugural episode. Football is finally here. Football is upon us, and you know what we do when we give it up here, right here on the Ultimate Browns on the UCSS Network. We're gonna have a great year. 2024 training camp has started at the Greenbrier. G. Bush is in. We ready to go. We ready to break down some of the sights and sounds that we got going on all over the Browns netscape everywhere. We're gonna be talking about that. First and foremost, we're gonna get a look at Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is out moving around, doing his thing. He has some sounds and some videos of him throwing the football. We will get to a couple of those, and he has some words for some individuals talking about him being ready to go. I think Deshaun Watson looks pretty good. There's an injury list, a very long injury list going around to start camp. We'll take a look at that as well. A couple of big names is on that list as well. And then we got Kevin Stefanski as well, calling plays. That's the big story of the day. And so what we're going to do, let's get to it, man. Kevin Stefanski is calling the plays in 2024. We talked about this a lot, and he came out and confirmed that he was calling plays today. Me, Tyvis Earl had a little bit to say about that. Check this out. It's right here on UCSS today. We talked about Kevin Stefanski calling plays, and Earl says, look, man, I told you I called this out.
For me, it just shows sometimes how much we over speculate or how much we jump to our own conclusions sometimes, right? At the end of last year, when it came out that the Browns was making sweeping changes on the offensive coaching staff, the first thing I thought was, damn, okay, Kevin Stefanski is going to give up the play calling, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you hear about how hands-on Ken Dorsey is and everything that, it's like, okay, this is looking more and more like Ken Dorsey is going to be the Browns play caller. But Kevin Stefanski said something during this press conference yesterday that made a lot of sense. Well, all the turnover with the coaching staff on the offensive side of the ball, it made sense to keep some sense of stability. And that was part of the reason why, he decided to still be the play caller. I think it's a good call. Kevin Stefanski is a damn good coach, is a damn good play caller. He's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but no coach is. And then furthermore, if you're somebody that's really, really looking at, okay, it should be Ken Dorsey, just think about it like this. If you gave that to Ken Dorsey right now and Ken Dorsey failed, I just feel like it's easier to give it to him down the road versus to take it from him down the road.
Oh. You know what? And I liked what Earl was saying right there. I kind of vibe what Earl was saying. If you want to catch that episode, watch that. Go back and watch it. We got clips up of that episode right here on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. But, it's time to put that to bed. I think Kevin Stefanski, he got that 4 or 5, 6 year deal, whatever it was. He's flexing his muscle at this point. I've been talking about it for the whole offseason. We've been talking about it like, yo, chat, as Kevin Stefanski, Alex Van Pelt, they made him get rid of his boy. That's what we're talking about. I expected Ken Dorsey to be able to be calling these plays. And the way everything looked in his offseason, Ken Dorsey was supposed to be calling these plays. I was like, this can't be nobody but Dorsey. Kevin Stefanski kicked in the door. Not playing games with people, said, no. I will be calling these plays. I will be calling these plays and dial them up. And that's what we're going to do. He came out and said there was a collaboration effect, and he doesn't know, the exact quote was, he doesn't know any teams that don't do it on a level where there's not a collaboration. But I think he's taking ownership of it. I think once he got that contract extension, I think once he started to look around, I think what he did is he got some new flavor. He reached out to Dorsey. Dorsey, brings a lot of college concepts into the playbook. I think he gets some stuff with Tommy Reese, who was an offensive coordinator at the offensive level and the college level. And I think really when you look at this, It's an evolution of an upgrade. I think Kevin, when you look at Dorsey in terms of calling plays, Earl was hitting on something there. It's easier in a place in a time when we talking about Deshaun Watson having one of the biggest, I guess, years of his career, and we talking about Deshaun Watson having to look a certain type way. Deshaun Watson is at a point right now we can't afford to have Deshaun Watson coming out here looking any old type of way. He can't be throwing for 2,000 yards and looking like we like to say Minimowski. He has to come out here and look a certain type of way. And I think sometimes when you got the pressure of a guy like Dorsey, who did get let go in Buffalo, and you have that pressure of Deshaun Watson saying, I got to perform. This team comes out against the Dallas Cowboys. I cannot afford to look a certain type of way. The Browns can't afford to get off to a slow start. Earl said something there that I thought was pretty dope. He said, it's always easier to start off doing what you know, going for what you know. And if you got Kevin Stefanski calling the plays and he knows that, hey, this is the reason why I got an extension. This is the reason why I was a 2-time coach of the year. Hey, I'm gonna look around and I'm gonna say to myself, I'm gonna call these plays because at the end of the day, I gotta get us off to a quick start. It's always easier if everything is going smooth down the line. You know what you can do though? You always can go down the line and be like, boom, yeah, let's go ahead. We could always get down the line and we can say, oh, listen, we're going to drop this off. Hey, we're going to let you get a little more acclimated into what we're doing, Ken. We're going to continue to do what we need to do, Ken. And then you could get him mixed in later on. But early against the Cowboys, early against some of these division opponents, early against some of them dudes like that, no, you ain't got no time to wait. You have no time for half-stepping. And I thought Stefanski came out in practice was like, hey, listen, Tony Grossi. Listen, he might was talking to your boy DG Bush too. I did about 6 months of content talking about him not calling plays. He came out first day of training camp. Yeah, I'm calling these plays, homie. These plays will be ran. What up, Marshall? I see you out here. Chat, we open and available. What's up? I see you. We open and available. You see us pouring in Expert 9000. What's up? Hey, camp is back around. See, sometimes, so you got to pull up. You got to pop out and show cats. In the words of Kendrick Lamar, camp is here. We going live. Y'all boys better get tapped back in. We ready to go. But, I would say, listen, in the comment section, were you surprised that Kevin Stefanski came out and said, I'm the guy, I'm going to be calling these plays? Because I was kind of surprised by it, to be honest with you, man. I thought all the tea leaves read that Dorsey was going to do it. But it just shows, and here's the thing about play calling in general. I think Kevin Stefanski is a dude that is a collaborator. From all the inside story, that I've gotten, he's a collaborator. He's not no dictator. He takes questions and comments, and he gets a lot of information from other people. And I think that he does a really good job of taking the pulse, of what's going on with the team. And I thought he did a good job of getting some of the stuff. And the thing that I like most about him, and I said this on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, is, look, man, I love the fact that he says that it was some pushback. Dorsey gives him some pushback. So he said these guys are the same a lot, and they have a lot in common in terms of their football, I guess, philosophy. He said, but then they're on the opposite ends of the spectrum. And one thing he likes and loves is the fact that he does give Dorsey the credit for giving him pushback. And I think pushback is very important when you're taking a look at coming up with different ideas and thoughts. I think sometimes you could get a little stagnant. I think you could get a little bit comfortable with the guys that are on your staff. And I think sometimes it takes a little bit of a new thought process and some pushback on some of your core thought processes about the football, the X's and O's, to get the best out of you and the best out of the team. So I like the fact that he said that. And like the fact that he really went there with Dorsey and said that these guys do agree on a lot, but at the end of the day, they do have some pushback and back and forth and exchange of thought, and I'm all for that. Let's get to the chat a little bit, man. Y'all been missing it. Y'all been missing. What's up, man? G, who's your favorite player? Who's the favorite player on the team right now? Obviously, the favorite player for a while been Nick Chubb. By the way, big time. They, it's funny because my phone going off and stuff, and I'm getting. We got a plethora of people out there. We got Jason Lloyd at Greenbrier. Obviously, I work on 92 through the Fendera Riders out there. Mary Kay's been on the show multiple times. By the way, shout out to her. We got some footage courtesy of her coming up. We'll show you of 7 on 7. We got a lot of people, and my phone been going off. Ding, ding, ding. G. Bush, ding. You know why? Them boys out there looking good. Hey, right now, and I don't care what nobody's saying. Oh, it's just preseason. It's just in shorts. Listen, when your quarterback that had a broke up shoulder for 2 years or been suspended or not being able to finish the year, guess what type of time I'm on? I'm on the time where it's like, yo, if you looking good, I'm about to say you look good. And right now, by all intensive purposes, yeah, boy, number 4 is looking good. Offense looking good. Hey, sometimes you got to pop out. Show, you know what it is, Christopher. You see it, man. You see, sometimes you got to show up on them, right? Damien, I'll give you credit. Hey, I got to give my man Quincy Carrier. You heard right here. Quincy, by the way, Quincy will be back on the show. Don't trip. Season starting. All hands on deck. We about to have the whole 3 amigos ready to go right back here. Quincy, I owe him $20. We was going back and forth on this platform and other platforms, and I was saying, come on, man, you know Ken Dorsey calling these plays. He texted me bright and early. How about you owe me that 20, dog? I looked around, I rolled out of bed, you got the sleep out of my eye. I look over, your boy Stefanski out here just kicking indoors. I'm calling the shots. So Damien, shout out to you. Said all along, Kevin Stefanski was calling the plays. AVP was from the same cloth as far as the philosophy. Needed a new voice like Dorsey, who likes shotgun type of plays and different. Diversity breeds success. Spoken like a true student of the game. I do appreciate that. Make sure you keep hitting me back up, man. What's up? Felipe Gonzalez. The worst thing that could have happened was Kev having success last year going to plays. For the Kevin naysayers, Kev, listen, when he had them 5, 6, 7 quarterbacks and they went to the playoffs, it was a wrap. But that's why I was so confused. I was so confused because I'm looking at it like from a perspective like, man, he won a coach of the year. They did ball out. They had like the best season, like with a bunch of quarterbacks and one off the street. So I was confused. But as Damien points out, when you do have guys who you're comfortable with, it becomes an echo chamber. They had Stump Mitchell was here forever. The tight ends coach, his name, escapes me now, but he was here with him for a while. You have ABP. They were same style, same everything, right? And so it gets stagnant a little bit. And now when you come into camp and you're in that room, it's a different voice. It's a different philosophy. It's a different urgency, right? I like to, like when somebody is coming from another situation, like when you get Ken Dorsey that comes from Buffalo and he feel like, hey, man, this is my stop after, this is breakup, right? You know how you look when you break up with somebody. You know how you look. You go through one of the worst breakups of your life. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to be in shape. Your gear look different. You be out here doing push-ups randomly at night. You be eating grass sandwiches. You be starving yourself. Bro, you got a whole different facial routine profile. You be motivated. I am not going to be falling off because you back on that market. Dorsey back on that market. He had Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. You cannot afford to have Deshaun Watson looking crazy. So he about to have that energy coming up. Hit that like button, man. We appreciate that as well, man. What up? Stefanski, best trade is calling plays and feeling the rhythm and the drive. To me, he has a great sense of when and when to go to the big play. When to get to 6 yards. I'll give him credit for that. I was a naysayer. I used to be like, man, I cannot stand Stefan. He get cute sometimes. He still get cute, but for the most part, especially what he did with Flacco, he had Flacco out here looking crazy. Shout out to Flaccavilli himself. We still rocking with you though. For what you did last year, but We're going to get back to the comment section here in a second, man. Listen, I see y'all tapping in. Tell your people, G Bush Live, we tapping in. When we get back, we're going to talk about this injury list. Boy, that injury list is kind of long, and we need to talk about that. Am I scared? Not really, but a couple people concern me. We'll highlight that. We'll do it all coming back. It's your boy, G Bush, on the Ultimate Browns. Let's talk about the people over at GameTime. And, one of my biggest things ever, I want to sit 50-yard line seats. I want the Browns, the box seats. I want to sit courtside of the NBA Finals. I want to be courtside with my feet on the wood when it comes to these Cavs games, right? That's always been my dream. Well, now with GameTime, my dreams can happen, and it might be even a little cheaper. Right now, GameTime is an authorized ticket marketplace to the NBA, which makes getting playoff tickets or NBA Finals tickets that much easier and faster. Prices on GameTime app actually go down closer you get to tip-off. It got killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, and views from your seat, and their lowest prices are guaranteed. GameTime takes the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets. What I love most is the GameTime app. You get the last-minute ticket sales, flash deals, and zone deals. You got an easy way to find and buy Major League Baseball tickets as well. Guardians is hot right now. Summer is hot. Get in on those tickets while you can, and why not use the GameTime app for every kind of event in your area? You get the views from your seats in the venue, and once again, lowest prices guaranteed, event cancellation, and job loss protection in the case that happens. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use the code word LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON, for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code word LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON, for $20 off. Download the GameTime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Welcome back to the fastest 30 seconds. Now, it's not 30 seconds. It seemed like 30 seconds. It's really like 30 minutes. Fastest 30 minutes in all the sports. It's your boy, G Bush. We are right back ready to go. Training camp is upon us, and it is here, and we got you locked. Man, don't be going no everywhere else. You know what the Ultimate Browns is, man. We're the only channel that gives you Ultimate Browns content. You know how we give it up over here. Don't go nowhere looking else. You're not going to get the real. You got the people like me. You got your guy Tybus. You see guys like Quincy Carrier on the podcast. You see guys like Earl the Pearl on the podcast. You know what it is. Leave it to us. We'll get you locked in on all the Browns content. The injury list, man. That injury list is looking kind of long. I ain't gonna lie with you. One of the injuries that I thought was devastating, and I didn't like it at all, is we found out that Greg Newsome had hamstring surgery. And I'm a guy. I'm the dude. I'm not a neurosurgeon or I'm not an orthopedic surgeon, but I had enough surgeries to tell you about back injuries, knee injuries, and all that. And one thing I don't like is the fact that people be having hamstring problems. Hamstring problems nag and linger, and they're just there. You hurt a hamstring, it be hot outside. Your hamstring still hurt, and it be winter. That's like 4 or 5 months. And we hear that Greg Newsome had hamstring surgery, along with another list of other people that's on that list. So when we were on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, this clip is from there. Tybus talks about his biggest concern. Is it Greg Newsome or Dalvin Tomlinson, who also had offseason surgery and a scope on his knee and will start the season on the PUP list? This is from that episode today. Make sure you go check out the full clip if you want to, available on YouTube.
I would say Newsome. I think that they did a really good job of bringing defensive tackles. If Dalvin Tomlinson can't go, you just drafted Mike Hall. You got Quentin Jefferson. So you still got guys that you got. What's the guy that got hurt last year?
They got Shelby Harris.
No, Mo Hurst. You got guys. There's a bunch of guys that's behind that you can still plug in. Still some veteran guys.
Good guys
that you can plug and play. Newsome gone, you got Cam Mitchell coming in. Cam Mitchell played at, a handful of snaps in the regular season last year, but now you asking him to be a starter and prepare to be a starter. Like, it's different out there. Preseason is fine. He was very impressive in the preseason, and if somebody asks you to come in for a couple of snaps a game, that's fine. That's cool. You can do those things. But when you got to do it for 17 games and you got to prepare, and now your body you are taking a toll on your body, you got to get used to doing those things. And some of these guys in the slots nowadays are very, very good. So I would say that Newsome, although a lot of people hate Newsome and people are not big fans of Gnu does bring energy. Gnu makes plays in that nickel position, and Gnu has been a big part of the secondary. So with that being said, I would say that he would be the bigger loss.
Hey, man, listen, you never know what you got till it's gone. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes people be on Gnu. Sometimes Greg Newsome be getting up doing all these dances and gyrating and doing all that stuff when he be making plays. Sometimes we laugh and joke and be like, man, Greg Newsome's helmet is 3 sizes too big. We be telling Greg Newsome, man, he be doing a lot of stuff out there. But one thing you can't deny, Greg Newsome rated as one of the best corners in the game. Pro Football Focus got Greg Newsome, Denzel Ward, and Martin Emerson as 3 of the top 35 initial corners in all of football. That's not to be debated. So when you're looking at it and you get Greg Newsome, who you utilizing and looking to run a lot of man coverage, when you take a look at the man coverage and the way the Cleveland Browns do that, they're running man coverage 36% of the time. The league average is only 24. So you're allowed to you can run man coverage and get up there and have people playing fast because you don't have to worry about none of that. Another part of that conversation is we talked about, the reason why the Browns and Jim Schwartz were so successful is he allowed them to play fast by just running man coverage. And that's what all 3 of those guys are great at. Greg Newsome was known coming out of college as an outside corner, not a slot corner. So it's a luxury to have a guy with that type of a cover ability in the slot being able to cover some of the faster, quicker guys in the league. That allows Martin Emerson to go outside and use his length and be physical. And then you already know what Denzel Ward is, right? So when you got a hamstring injury, that's the biggest part of his game. I'm always scared when guys have hamstring injuries or things like that because those things linger. They're very easy to tweak. They're very easy. They're very quick to pull it again, and they're very temperamental. You gotta do the little things, warming it up, making sure you're getting treatment on it, icing it down at the end, making sure you're stretching, but not stretching too much, making sure that you're not out there going too quickly before you can. Now, the Browns are super vague about what they talk about, right? They ain't going to tell you about nothing. They'll never tell you exactly when the timetable is. We just hope to have them back by the season. I'm going to let you know something right now. They had people out there saying they see Nick Chubb running sprints full speed. You might see Nick Chubb before you see Greg Newsome. I'm just telling you. I'm letting you know right now. That's not saying that Greg Newsome, he had hamstring surgery. And, if you come back too early from that, that's going to set you back 2, 3, 4 weeks if you pull it again after you come back. So you might see Nick Chubb earlier than you might see Greg Newsome. A couple other guys did not know. Jed Wills had another small cleanup of his knee. He's been out since November. He's also on a PUP list. Now his is the active PUP list that he could come back anytime that he's ready. It's not like a designated date or anything. We already know Jack Conklin was on that list. Dalvin Tomlinson was on the list. One of the guys we kind of featured in that little snippet. Now, Dalvin Tomlinson I don't know if Jed Wills, I mixed that up. I don't know if Jed Wills had another procedure after he had it in November. We just know he went out in November with the procedure. He's still not ready to go, according to the Browns. Now, Dalvin Tomlinson did have the scope of his knee. Thing I worry about as a big man with myself, I've had about 7 scopes of my knee. Usually when you having scopes, they're going in there to clean up some debris, whether that's some torn cartilage, whether that's a little bit of a meniscus tear, whether that's some swelling or you got something in there. So usually they go in, they scope it. Now you could be back very quickly. The problem I have is this. Not saying this is going to be a long-term thing. I think he'll be back sooner rather than later. The long-term thing with the meniscus and things like that is the wear and tear. How much of the meniscus they got to get to, how much, stuff was going on in there. They keep it vague because they don't want you to, obviously they're not going to throw too much out there. But usually when you have in the scope, it's basically because you have swelling in the knee. The swelling is, it's just nagging stuff, right? Aching and different things like that. But when you're bigger and you got a lot of weight that you're putting on your joints and your knees, those are the type of things that usually you worry about a little more. And it's just basic wear and tear on your body and your joints. Obviously, they've done a good job of bolstering up front. I'm not worried about that up front. You invested draft picks. You're going to see to get to your boy Mike Hall Jr. You're going to see him now more. Siaki Ika, he's more of a more of a nose tackle, more of a clog type guy running on the first two downs. You're going to see him more. You had Quentin Jefferson, you got Merle Hurst, you got Siaki Ika, you got Shelby Harris. They got a lot of people up there that can play. I would not worry about that. Dalvin Tomlinson to come and get in where he's ready, right? And the last guy that was on the injury list, obviously, is Nick Chubb. We talked about him, but from all the people that's tweeting and hitting me up, Nick Chubb was out there running sprints. So yeah, he's on the pup list, but Nick Chubb is out here moving around. You saw the squat videos. I've been kind of skeptical. I've been saying, like, listen, let him come back in his own time. His timetable might be different. He's running around here doing big things. He's doing big things. Let's get back to some of these chats. Let's get back to the comments. Let's see. The expert 9000 said, do you think Kev is an elite play caller? I can't give him an elite play caller yet. I think he's worked himself into a good play caller. I would call it an elite play caller like somebody like Shanahan, McVay. The godfather of it is Andy Reid, right? When I'm calling a great play caller, I'm looking for two things. I'm looking for timing, I'm looking for concepts, and I'm looking for just the randomness of what you're doing. So to be a great play caller, you got to have some really out there play concepts, but you also have to call them at the right time. And you also have to give people something to prepare for. So, when you play the Kansas City Chiefs, they play a different way every week. When the Bill Belichick and the Patriots was rolling, Tom Brady would play a different way. They have a different skill set. Like, they played with two tight ends with Gronk and Hernandez, but they also played with Julian Edelman and Wes Welker. They also played with Mike Vrabel catching touchdown passes. Like, it was weird. Like, so I like some variety in what I'm doing. Let's keep that pushing. Let's see. Hamstring surgery makes me oof. I'm not a doctor. No, hamstring surgery makes me think he tore it off the bone or a tendon. I'm not a doctor. Sometimes you can have a micro tear. Sometimes I'm not a doctor or orthopedic surgeon, but I just know how I pulled my hamstring one time and was out like 4 weeks, and I'm not even that fast. So imagine and I don't use mine. I'm using I'm using burst off the line of scrimmage. Can you imagine him turning and trying to run and cutting and moving? It's rough. Expert, the best slot DB in the nation. He would say that. I would think he's up there as one of the best slot corners in the game. Let's see. After such an embarrassing last postseason, what has changed, G, that's got you believing this year? Two things that got me believing this year is one, I think that your quarterback, and you'll see some footage here coming up in a second. I think the quarterback has a higher ceiling. I think the quarterback is in a better headspace. I think he's completely healthy, and I think he's going to be elite this year. So that changes a whole lot for me. Also, too, I think that what you're going to see the second year in Jim Schwartz's defense is going to be different as well. Last year, they lined up, played fast, and they were basically running man-to-man coverage, and that's it. And guess what? They were like one top 3 defense at worst, right? at times dominant number one defense. This year, you'll start to see them incorporate match zones with out of the cover 3, out of the cover 4. Now teams can't just run, they gave up a lot of plays in motion with different things like that kind of got them out of position. Now they're going to have some wrinkles available to themselves. So now they're going to be having disguises back there, and they still got great talent. And in 3, I think there's going to be an infusion of some more different concepts. The Browns were kind of vanilla last year. They just ran bread and butter, old school concepts, and I think they got taken advantage of when you take a look at what they happened to the Houston Texans. It was just old school. I think this year they got new concepts. I think there's new energy. They got a better receiving core. Mark Cooper's back in the fold. I think Jerry Jeudy is ready to go. Elijah Moore be more suited to the third receiver. You got more running backs and stables, backs. Offensive line we'll talk about Jed Wills at another date, but he's kind of shaky. But other than that, I think the offensive line will be better. I think the team's going to be a lot better. I think the team will be a lot better. Well, with that being said, part of the reason I think they're going to be better is Deshaun Watson. We got some footage from Deshaun Watson here, courtesy of Mary Kay, who's down at the Greenbrier. We'll talk about what Deshaun Watson looks like and why I think this is going to be a breakout season for Deshaun Watson. He's going to remind a lot of people why he was rated as one of the top quarterbacks just a few years ago. We'll come back and talk about that here on the it's the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show Network, but it's the Ultimate Browns. You know what it is. Well, you know that we just don't give you football here. Football is king, and how we do it over here at the Ultimate Browns. But we got some of the best baseball content in the game as well. Zach Meisel, Adam the Bull, they give you that Ultimate Guardians. This is now 2 days a week, so make sure you get up on that content. And Mikey McNuggets has become the czar, the telestrator, like he's Marv. He's Fratello. He be breaking it down. He's with your boy, and he's over at Greenbrier right now. Mr. Lloyd, and guess what? Ultimate Cavaliers. Make sure you check that out every single day. Cavs is getting back to business. They, talking about the core 4. Summer League just ended up. Jalen Tyson looks pretty good. I'm repping with Imani Bates. We don't see what they're gonna do. Darius Garland back in the fold. Make sure you catch Jason Lloyd, Mikey McNuggets right here on the Ultimate Cavaliers. Hey, Earl the Pearl, Ultimate 216 is a mix of sports and culture. Make sure you check him out. He's had some great guests over there. Me and him go back forth. He's been on the platform. Make sure you continue to support Earl the Pearl, Ultimate 216. And of course, it's the big homie. It's the big homie G Bush himself, Ultimate Browns. You get this two times a week as well. Make sure you check that out because you don't want to miss these when it comes to football, when it comes to breaking it down. We're going to be all over it. Football season is now. It is now right here on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show YouTube channel. Well, we back on the fastest 30 minutes in all of sports. G. Bush with you talking. It ain't even been 30 minutes. I gave you a little overtime today. We've been talking. We've been getting back indoctrinated with the fans, but we got some footage, man. We got some footage. This is footage is courtesy of Mary Kay Cabot, and it's our first look a little bit with Deshaun Watson and just some 7-on-7 throwing. And from all intensive purposes, we've been seeing the Cleveland Browns, and there's a lot more footage out there. But right here, you can see Elijah Moore moving around and working in the slot and different things. But other than this, Deshaun Watson has been on money the first 2 days here. He's been on money. There's other footage out there, and you probably seen it on Twitter and other different places. 11-on-11, Deshaun Watson out here throwing the ball. You feeling good when you just throw the ball and it's good. You just walk away. These throws, you just throw, you just put it on the money, and I'm going to walk away. And a couple of things that he said and why I'm interested and I'm excited for it, and I'm here for the smoke, is I love the fact that Deshaun Watson is saying, you know what? It's been kind of hard the last 2 years to listen to some of this stuff. And sometimes in the beginning, when you had Deshaun Watson and when he first got here, sometimes you trying to lick your wounds and you're trying to ingratiate yourself to people. It's like being a new kid going into a school and you may move often to get because your parents moved from job to job. Maybe you're a military kid, and you go into these schools, and the first thing you try to do is you want to just be nice, and you want to sit with people, and you just want to just say, hey, I'm not a weird kid. I just want some friends. You trying to get to know people all over, and you know how mean kids is, and you know how mean kids are all around the country, and you start to have this thing where you're just looking for camaraderie and you're looking for acceptance. And then about 2 or 3 weeks pass, and you get to guys that want to bully you a little bit. You got the guys that don't want to sit at the lunch table. You start doing everything by yourself. You're going home questioning what you're doing, and then something snaps. Something hits you. You're like, man, I'm not about to be out here trying to ingratiate myself, bending over backwards for these people. If you like me, you like me. You don't, you don't. And I'm just going to be me. And whoever likes me for being me, great. If you don't like me for being me, so what? And I think the comments Deshaun Watson got right there are just showing you what type of energy he got. And sometimes to get back to who you were and who you are and to do something at a high level, you got to not worry about what people are saying. I remember I started off in this industry and trying to gain a footing and shooting these shows in ether, and not knowing if anybody would ever see my shows ever, doing YouTube videos. And I remember every comment I used to try to, be in the comment section, and I really try to interact with everybody, every single comment. And then I realized something. The energy I was putting into validating people's comments, I could have been putting to upgrade my information. I could have been putting that energy into upgrading my editing technology, or coming up with better topics, or being more thought-provoking, or coming up with different things and different video clips and tools. And I should have been just concentrating on my craft. And then I realized if you do what you do and you do it at a high level, people will come because they can't do nothing but respect it. You can't respect the results. And so I think Deshaun, after a while, started to say, you know what? I'm going to just live my life. I'm not going to, I got $234 million. Everybody would like $234 million. I'm not going to apologize for that. Yeah, I think I'm a good quarterback. I haven't played up to my capabilities, but I'm not going to stop thinking I'm a good quarterback. And yeah, I do think I'm going to have a great year this year. As a matter of fact, I'm the first time I've been healthy in such a long time. Let me rock with that. And sometimes when you stop asking to sit at people's lunch tables, you set yourself aside, and then you realize I wasn't meant to sit at the lunch table with everybody else. I need to be a cut above. I need to be at the table. Patrick Mahomes don't sit at lunch tables. Josh Allen don't be at the lunch tables. The rest of those guys ain't at lunch tables. They in the corner by themselves, eating the uncomfortable food. Not all the food that y'all getting fat on. They eating the food that don't taste good. It's green, leafy stuff. And they sitting by themselves uncomfortable and they don't be there all day. They don't be in the cafeteria all day. You know what they be doing? They be eating quick, 5 minutes, because guess what they got to get back to? I got to get to this film work. I got to get to these throws. I'm throwing extra outside. Look, you getting to it. So I think Deshaun Watson started to realize, yeah, I'm not trying to fit in anymore. I'm here. Kevin Stefanski is here. Andrew Berry is here. I'm here. All of us are in long-term deals. So if you're a Browns fan, you're going to rock with us or no. Because I'm the quarterback. If you want to sit on my lunchroom, if you want to sit at the table with me, you might want to come over here. But I'm okay sitting by myself. And so that precision, I like a guy playing with a little anger. I like a guy playing with a little, I'm going to show y'all. Don't tell me. That's why I told you all off season, that 2,000 yard stuff they want us to talk about. We ain't doing 2,000 yards this way. We need 4,500. We need them 5 racks. Because if you get them 5 racks, guess what? That means Njoku had a great year. That means Jerry Jeudy deserved that money they gave him without playing a dime. Oh, We needed Amari Cooper, and he had another breakout year. And guys like Cedric Tillman and guys like all the guys in between, Jamari Thrashers of the world and all the running backs and the lot, that means we all had a great, spectacular year. And that's what we want. Let's hit to these comments real fast, and then we're going to dip up out of here, man. We want to salute. We appreciate y'all pulling up. Hit that like button for your boys. Stop playing around so we can go ahead and do that. G. Bush, one of my all-time favorites when you and Quincy get together and do some Browns football is go, hey, McDog, you're going to see that, man. You're going to see that right here on my channel on Ultimate Browns. He's going to be back on the podcast when we come seasons here. You're going to see me do that thing with him over on his station. Y'all going to get tired of us seeing us all off season too. You know, we drink that Kool-Aid, man. And we drink that Kool-Aid. With that being said, I gave y'all a little overtime, man. The fastest 30 minutes. This is fastest, 40 minutes or so. We gave you that weekend special, letting you know we back live. With that being said, hey, I might turn up anywhere. You see me right here. I'm on the internet. You see me on the radio. You see me on TV. Everywhere I go, I keep them clippers. We can keep that fresh cut on sports. So if you want to know where I'm at, always listen for the Clippers. Have a great weekend and go Browns.